Good, happy Saturday morning, September 21st, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news this morning, so let's begin. First up, 2 mobile homes destroyed by explosion. Fire in West Ossipee. Witness says he was running to help when propane tank exploded. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Nature isn't the only force that can leave its mark, especially when you have a tractor built to help make your property your own.
A large response on Puritan Lane in West Ossipee as flames shot out of a mobile home Friday afternoon. Witnesses say there was a fire, then an explosion.
The first arriving, 2 companies found heavy fire at the back of the building. It had spread to an adjacent structure.
Nearby, workers from Obashan Hardware grabbed fire extinguishers and rushed over just as the explosion happened.
The propane tank blew, catching the whole first trailer on fire, and then it also lit up a tree behind the shed on fire. And then about probably 4 minutes later, it unfortunately blew the oil tank, because I guess the oil tank just got filled last week, and the tree caught the trailer behind them on fire too.
20 agencies were called in, bringing in more than 100 firefighters.
They worked diligently to try to stop this from spreading any further, which they did. They should be commended for it. That's why we ended up calling on so many people.
No one was injured as a result of the flames, but one woman hurt her ankle while getting out of one of the homes. Both buildings were destroyed, and 4 people are now displaced.
The second building that was involved, there were pets in that building. My understanding is all of them made it out safely.
The State Fire Marshal's office is now looking into the cause and whether a tank malfunctioned.
There was propane and there was kerosene for different appliances within the house.
Authorities say they'll continue to inspect the fuel sources around this mobile home. Meanwhile, Obashan Hardware says they'll plan to collect donations for those who can no longer return home. Reporting live in West Ossipee, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. AG office rejects proposed Seacoast Hospital affiliation deal. Wentworth Douglas Exeter Hospital plan to affiliate with Massachusetts General. A proposal for 2 Seacoast area hospitals to affiliate themselves with Massachusetts General Hospital is unlawful because it likely will lead to unfair competition for some health care services, the Attorney General's office said Friday. The office's charitable trust unit released its report on Wentworth Douglas Hospital in Dover and Exeter Health Resources, which includes Exeter Hospital. Last year, the 2 hospitals announced an agreement to create a new nonprofit organization that will serve as their parent company and will be part of Mass General family. Hospital officials said the affiliation would expand access service that they could not provide as standalone organizations. The hospital said in a joint statement that they welcome ongoing discussions with the Attorney General's office. We expect ultimately to be able to demonstrate the many benefits of this transaction and that the concerns of the Attorney General's office are wholly unfounded, they said. Wentworth Douglas Hospital was acquired by the Massachusetts General Hospital family in 2016. The statement said the hospital has already experienced millions of dollars in savings while bringing increased access to high-quality, specialized service to its patients and adding 300 jobs. The statement said the combined hospitals would be able to offer more specialized services such as a level 2 neonatal nursery. Currently, newborns needing this level of care must be transferred long distances, and mothers and babies are often separated for days or weeks, it said. Claremont School evacuated due to smoke in auditorium. Firefighters say auditorium lighting charred part of the stage curtain. Students had to be evacuated from the school in Claremont after the auditorium started filling with smoke Friday afternoon. According to the Claremont Fire Department, crews were dispatched to Stevens High School on Broad Street just after noon. Investigators said part of the auditorium's lighting system had been closed to the curtain on the stage, and the heat from the lighting caused part of the curtain to char. It never caught fire. Crews used a portable handheld water extinguisher to cool the curtain off. After the school's ventilation system removed the smoke, students were allowed back into the building about an hour later. Chaos and Kindness store set to open in Laconia. Store features concepts designed by Recycle Percussion band members. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Chapel Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors out of their barn with a work ethic.
They have shows in Las Vegas and take their unique brand of chaos and kindness around the world.
We spent the better part of the last 10 days away from our families.
Now the guys from Recycle Percussion are embarking on arguably their next big production.
We are pumped. We've been working so hard.
A dedicated crew is working tirelessly to put the finishing touches on what the band calls more than your normal retail store.
Trying to make something that's unique, that's fun for people, that can bring people together. The store is really interesting.
How interesting, you ask? Let's just say it's like stepping into the creative minds of band members Justin Spencer and Ryan Vizina.
These gigantic, 300-pound candy bins, so people can just dig through candy. The kids can come in and have fun. We have etch-a-sketches all over the wall. You can build art.
The store is split into two personalities, chaos and kindness.
It's called the Commit and Conquer Cube. If there's something that you want, if there's something you want to quit, if there's an addiction that's been bothering you, grab the baseball bat, set up a pane of glass that says what your goal is, and just rip right through that thing.
And an inspiration booth where you'll hear inspiring messages from the band. The anticipation? Enough for folks to camp out not one, but 2 nights before the store opens.
Because I wanted to be the first in line, and I wanted to show them my dedication to them.
Doors open to the public at 11 a.m. 5 bands are scheduled to play live music. There'll be food trucks and a fireworks show as well. Parking will be in the lot across Union Street. For more information, head to WMUR.com or our mobile app or the Recycled Percussion Facebook page.
Okay, and there you go. Very cool. A door. Hundreds gather in Portsmouth as part of global climate strike. Organizers say time is now to make critical change. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how we
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Climate change has got to go!
Chants kicking off this climate strike in Portsmouth's Prescott Park. 20 speakers motivating hundreds around ending climate change.
And we want to tell elected officials that we have their back in supporting 100% renewable energy.
The effort organized by 4 very young activists.
And I got really interested because I had learned about how much plastic was in our oceans and the devastating impacts it has.
Our Earth is not single use, and our existences and our futures and our planet's future is not a price to be paid for economic growth.
An effort to mobilize people, especially youth.
This is going to affect them as much as adults, if not more. They're growing up, they're going to have children and have lives, and, they want to have a nice environment that the past generations have been able to have.
It's really about kind of raising awareness and getting together with political figures to cause a whole change, like a holistic kind of change.
Hitting home with 3 generations of this Newcastle family.
People, we need to wise up. Why take a chance and not, take care of the planet?
We just all think it's the most important crisis that we're facing, and it's something we have to do something about.
Those young organizers, by the way, chose this Prescott Park backdrop for a reason. Their slogan, "The oceans are rising, and so are we." Live in Portsmouth, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Shaheen bill would study cancer risk of PFAS chemicals. Firefighters say cancer cause could be linked to protective gear. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Chapel Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors.
Senator Jean Shaheen stopped at the Goffstown Fire Department to hear from members of the fire service from all across the state.
We're seeing a high incidence of cancer in firefighters, and we're trying to figure out what's the cause of that. And there's real concern that it is those PFAS chemicals in firefighter protective gear.
Shaheen has introduced legislation requesting more investigation be done into the potential risks of exposure to PFAS chemicals.
Do a study and let us know if PFAS in firefighter gear is related to the health impacts, and then our legislation would also provide for funding for grants to help fire departments as they're looking at new turnout gear.
For Paul Cotter and his wife Diane, the topic hits close to home.
Well, I was a firefighter for 27 plus years in Worcester. I was diagnosed with cancer, job-related cancer, in 2014.
Paul had no history of cancer in his family. Since his diagnosis, his wife has been on a mission to identify sources of cancer in the fire service.
We've really been combating industry that does not want to take action, and what we need desperately is for the EPA and for Congress to act.
Diane and Paul want the PFAS family of chemicals to be deemed a hazardous substance because they believe that will lead to the replacement of firefighting protective gear. Live in studio, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. No explanation for Utah tour bus crash that killed 4, injured 17. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
That deadly scene, the tour bus flipping over in southern Utah, not far from Bryce Canyon National Park. Authorities say several passengers were killed and at least a dozen critically injured tonight. Some were ejected, their bus rolling over on the highway. Emergency crews say no one on board escaped this unharmed, and at this hour they have airlifted victims from the remote scene. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman leading us off.
Tonight, the NTSB is launching a team to investigate how that bus flipped on a gradual curve, rolling and ejecting passengers. 4 people were killed and as many as 5 were critically injured when the bus, filled with 30 people, suddenly overturned on the road, leading to picturesque Bryce Canyon.
Everybody on board, from what we understand, are Chinese nationals, with the exception of the driver, who's Chinese-American.
The force of the crash nearly shearing off the roof of the bus, causing catastrophic injuries. Shortly after the crash, stunned passengers sprawled out across the 2-lane highway. Medics and bystanders doing triage, trying to warm up the wounded with those space blankets. 3 helicopters airlifting the most seriously injured to hospitals. And artifacts of what had started out as a pleasant tour littering the road. Alongside shattered glass, there were water bottles, oranges, and clipboards flung from the bus as it tumbled.
Just a horrific scene. Matt Gutman with us live tonight. And Matt, any word on the survivors who were airlifted to the hospital? We know this was a very remote area.
Extremely remote, David, which is one of the reasons that 10-person NTSB team isn't scheduled to arrive at the crash site until tomorrow. Now, no obvious reasons for this crash, but to give you a sense of the violence of this accident, authorities tell me every single person on board that bus was transferred to a hospital. David.
Just awful. All right, Matt Gutman leading us off on a Friday night. Thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Just an awful accident. Vera's Choice 2019 Best Pizza. Everyone loves pizza, so let's see where the best places are in New Hampshire. Let's take a look.
The research is clear. Early childhood education produces some of the greatest returns on investment. A strong foundation in the early years drives positive outcomes later. It's that simple.
There you go. There you go on the list. And if your pizza place did not make it on the list, feel free to share with us under the video on the Riley King Network Facebook page under our post. Cook's Corner Shrimp Zoodles. Let's take a look.
Cook's Corner is on the road. We are here in Salem at Barron's Major Brands, and we have Dawn from Cucina Aurora joining us today. What are we making? I know that I'm going to have to jump in and help out.
Yeah, well, I always like to make you work, and I am thrilled to be here at Barron's Major. This place is amazing.
Yeah.
This stove is like, I've dreamt about stoves like this. I'm just gonna say.
Dreams come true.
Dreams can come true. Okay, so what we're making is, because it's like late summer and everybody's got tons and tons of zucchini, we're gonna make a zucchini noodle with garlic and lemon shrimp. Okay?
All right.
Very light, very easy summer dish.
Yeah.
And it requires 2 of our fabulous olive oils.
Okay.
The roasted garlic and the zesty lemon. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it because we have 2 pans going at the
Yeah,
same
I know.
time. I'm going to do the shrimp.
Okay.
You're going to do the zoodles.
Gotcha.
You got to say zoodles, though.
Zoodles.
Zoodles.
I'm on the zoodle patrol.
You're on the zoodle patrol. Okay, so we're going to go about 2 tablespoons of garlic oil in each of these pans. All right. And then we're going to do about 2 tablespoons of lemon oil in each of the pans.
Okay.
All right, garlic lemon, because it's like a scampi.
Right.
But this makes it nice
Gotcha.
and easy, all right? Okay, so I'm going to just take all my wonderful shrimp and I'm going to throw them right in there. We're going to turn the heat up on that because that should be sizzling. We want it sizzling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Okay, and you're going to go and take care of those zoodles.
All right.
So put your zoodles right in your pan.
All right.
And we're going to see who's cooks first.
Whoa, and we got a little bit of that.
There we go. Oh, you hear
Get
the
that out of the
sizzle?
way. Oh, yeah,
All
there
right.
it is. All right.
Tongs for you.
So how? I mean,
Spoon for me.
how much am I mixing this around?
We're going to mix it until they start to get nice and tender.
Okay.
Okay. And these shrimp, I mean, they cook so fast when they're on a high heat like this.
Yeah.
Look at how beautiful. So these olive oils, they're made right here in Salem, New Hampshire. They're all my own recipes, and everything's made by hand, which is pretty cool. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of time to cook.
Sure.
So these oils make things really, really easy.
Yeah, I can already see that the zoodles are definitely
Zoodles.
they're coming along. Yeah.
Now, would you think you would make this at home?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Or at least I would have somebody else more qualified in the kitchen to do it. But yeah, I could
do you
probably
need me to
do
come
it too.
over and cook this for you?
I'm not saying no.
I will. I'll cook it for you and your fiance, and
There
we can
we
have a
go.
nice big dinner. It'll be beautiful. Now, Mike, my shrimp are still cooking up here.
Okay.
All right, but you.
These seem about ready to go.
Yeah. So what I want you to do is I want you to add those tomatoes because
Okay.
I want to blanch those a little bit.
All right.
There we go. Stir those around in there.
Yep.
So you just want them to sort of like wilt a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. Oh, look at how beautiful. Look at those
look
colors.
at that nice, yeah, beautiful,
Right?
vibrant.
I think your tongue skills are superb.
All right.
Supreme.
May have found my calling.
Yeah, tongues. Tongues.
Okay, perfect. And
All
then what
right.
else are we tossing
now
in
you're
here?
going to toss in some of that cheese, like
All
half of
right.
it, and toss it real quick and put it right in the plate.
Again, once the zoodles are ready, we've got the shrimp good to go. What's next?
So we're just going to put this right on top.
Oh, that looks so
Look at
good.
that. Doesn't that smell delicious?
Yeah, it does.
All right. There we go. We're going to top it with a little extra cheese.
You can never have too much
You
cheese.
can't have too much cheese.
Oh, that looks great.
And garnish with some parsley.
Perfect. Dawn, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned.
My
We've got
pleasure.
much more coming up after the break.
Let's
Looks very good. That looks yummy. Cool. And now let's take a look at some events happening today here in New Hampshire for your Saturday. Throt Fall Weekend at 8 o'clock a.m. at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. How to Protect Your Kids in Digital World, 8 o'clock a.m. at Spalding Youth Center. 2019 Walk to End Alzheimer's all day at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium. Wellness on the Walk, Brinding Walk, 8:30 a.m. Concord River Greenway. Great Bay Convert Club / Charity Car Show all day at 9 o'clock a.m. at Sig Sear headquarters. Walk for Animals to benefit Monadnock Maine Society, 9 o'clock a.m. at Keene Delta Hopkins Airport. Sorry about that, not this one. Our View in Cornish American Art and Picture Gallery, 1948 to 2019, all day at St. Gaubens National Historic Park. And moving on, 9 o'clock a.m. at Epsom Public Library. Those are the events happening today in New Hampshire. If you want to see that complete list, we will have a link for you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. And that does it for this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.